So let's talk for a minute, if you don't mind, about the Mini-14.
Oh, sure.
What took you to Ruger to build that? Why there?
Oh, he wanted, okay, the M16, of course, introduced the 5.56 cartridge as a military cartridge. He wanted to do that starting with the semi-automatic version of a 5.56 rifle that was just a copy of the M1, M14
Okay.
type of weapon. Primarily for the civilian market, but one that, because of the introduction of the new military cartridge, that had some military potential too.
Okay.
So the gun was designed to be an automatic weapon with a select fire automatic and a full and semi.
Okay. That was kind of doomed to failure. The Army wasn't about to ditch the one gun they just adopted
Yeah.
to replace it with a different one.
Yeah, but there was worldwide interest in the thing. For some reason, the French liked it, but I think it was their penal system. They had, they bought it for. They were the first to buy, I think,
Okay.
and it was full and semi.
Well, it turned into an extremely popular civilian
Oh yeah,
commercial market gun.
yeah. I think it's second only to the AR itself, the AR-15.
Okay. What design work did you do on that? If it was, how much work was?
All of it. It used the same exact principles as the M1 and M14, but it was it had to be designed so that you could make it with castings, because that's how Ruger made so many of his guns.
Okay.
And castings, if you machine something out of bar stock, you can have thick sections and thin sections in the same thing, but if you try casting that, it doesn't work. And you get weak
Okay.
sections in the thing.
So for people who don't understand or don't recognize, how much work is involved in taking the operating mechanism from an existing and well-proven gun and doing something like scaling it down to a different cartridge?
Well, when you say scaling it, you can't just take the exact dimensions and each one has the same scaling factor. It's like the engine in that Ford and the engine in that whatever the other one is. Challenger, is that what it is? Okay, there's exactly the same principle. Well, the parts don't fit each other though. Okay, well neither does this.
Okay. So you're taking a system that you know works, but you pretty much have to design it from the ground up
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, designing that engine right there, you have to design everything in it,
Okay.
even though the principles are the same.
Okay.
Ruger was a real gun fan, he had every kind of gun in mind.
Okay.
And he seemed to have a golden touch, because whatever he liked, the whole marketplace liked.
Ruger does have a history of some extremely successful designs, yeah.
He was another great man to work for. He was kind of hard to work for. I mean, but he had a terrific sense of humor. He had brilliant ideas. He would, just some kind of comic things that I remember was when I did the Mini-14, the takedown is like the M1 and M1, you pull the trigger guard open, and then the whole trigger mechanism comes out, and the action lifts off the stock then. Well, I had the detent that was supposed to hold that thing closed broke off. I didn't have it designed right. And but we were firing the prototype anyway, but you'd have to hold the thing up there with this finger while you're pulling the trigger with this finger. Bill Ruger, I was test firing the prototype at the range. He walked into the range at that time, and he says, "Oh, I want to fire it," And I said, "Okay, Bill, but," and I started explaining about this problem of holding it with your finger, and he says, "I know how to shoot a gun." I mean, that's the way he is. Okay. He went and fired it, and the whole trigger mechanism crashed to the floor, and the gun itself goes plop out of the stock. And the range master and I just cracked up. You know, we were just howling.
I imagine.
But Bill Ruger laughed too. That's my
That's
point.
good. Maybe listen to you next time you gave him a caveat.
You should talk about the hot dog trail.
Oh, yeah. When I was designing the Mini-14, he wanted to get the bolt designed. He said, let's get the bolt design first. Well, you kind of have to design everything together, you know. So anyway, just to please him, I was doing the bolt drawing. And he saw, it was about half complete. It's a big drawing, you know, lots of hours on it. And he comes in. He used to buy his lunch out of the vending machines in the company, you know. And he came in with beans and wieners. And he dropped it, one of the wieners right in the middle of this drawing, and it rolled down the drawing, spreading grease all over, just ruined the drawing. And we both just watched it.
We'll be redoing that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was before you could just do the drawing on a computer.
Oh, yeah.
It was an actual drawing, I
Yeah,
assume.
it really was.
Whoops.
And now we know the real reason for the Mini-14's accuracy.
Yes. The hot dog grease.
That was the source.
He kind of got a bad reputation with a lot of gun owners over magazine size limits.
Yeah, he
later
did. Okay. And, some people really hated him for volunteering to, what was it, 10 shots or something?
Yeah.
He limited it to.
Is there any background to that story? Why he did
I
that?
wasn't there when that happened. So I
Okay.
don't know.
All right.